guys, welcome back. We are going to do homework for 312 today. And we start off with more of these lovely tables. You'll get to see these a lot in the next few lessons. Alright, so here we're trying to fill in this table below, and we're trying to explain like what's happening to our input that's giving us our output value. So here, if this one's we can kind of see this one. From 2 to 5, I know I could be adding 3, right? That's one way, but if I were to add 3 to 10, I don't get 21. Another thing that I did see was, if I double 2, right, that gives me 4, plus 1 is 5. So let's try that here. If I double 10, that would be 20, plus 1 is 21. So that one works. Let's try another one. If we double 6, that's 12, plus another 1 is 13. So really our rule, right, what's happening to our input is that we're doubling our x, which means we're multiplying 2 times x, and then we're adding 1 more. Okay, so if you were going to explain that, we could say that we're multiplying by 2, and add 1. So now that we know what's happening, now we can go and fill in our table. So when I double 17, that gives me to 14, right? And then I add 1 more is 15. Same thing here. When I double -3, I get -6, right? And then I add a positive 1, right? Because we're adding 1. It's not -1, but positive 1. That would get me to -5. Working backwards, right? I can do the same thing. I can say, okay, instead of adding 1, I'm going to subtract 1, so -16. And then instead of multiplying by 2, I'm going to divide by 2, which would get me to -8. All right, okay, -10. So when I double that, I get -20. And then when I add 1, right, that's like adding a positive 1, that gets me to -19 because I'm moving in that positive direction. All right, and then for 100, I multiply it by 2, so that would give me 200. I add 1, that gets me to 201, 201. All right, hopefully that kind of makes sense. Now, if for part B here, it's asked us to write the process in algebraic symbols. So we kind of have some of it going up here. So essentially, to get my y value, right, to get a y equals, what do I have to do? I have to multiply by 2. So that's like saying 2x, right? That's how we would write that algebraically. And then I have to add 1, so plus 1. That's how we would write this in our algebraic expression. All right, number 14 down here is a little bit of review from last chapter. So we're writing the original equation, we're simplifying it and solving for x. So first our original. Remember, we start in the top region, we write what we see in the top region. So I have 2 x's, 2x. I have 3 units, plus 3. Then I go into my negative region, so I put negative parentheses. Then I can state what I see, so I see an x and I see a -1. Then remember, because there's this double line here, this stands for equals, so stick your equal sign in there. Then start with the top region, I see 2 x's. I also see -2, so -2. Then I move to my negative region, minus parentheses, and then I can state my -1 in those parentheses. Okay, now we can start with our legal moves. So I might start with the 0 pair, because I see one right here. That gives me less to flip, but if you like to flip first, it totally will work out. You can do that too. You'll still see this 0 pair right here eventually. So I'm going to take those out. And I don't see any other 0 pairs, so I'm going to flip for my next move. I'm going to take this negative, and it's going to become a positive when I flip it over the line. So I've kind of dealt with all of this right now. And then I'm going to do the same thing right here, flip up the x. It goes from negative to positive. Okay. Then remember, we need to do our double flip, our flipping 2.0, where we flip our x's onto one side and our units onto the other side. So I'm just going to take this x right here, and I'm going to flip it over, and it's going to turn into negative. Remember, whenever it flips, it always becomes negative. I'm going to cross it out so I don't think about it, and then, or lose track of it. And then I'm going to flip my units over to the other side, and they are going to become positive. I'm just going to draw them off to the side over here with the other ones that I drew so I don't lose track of them. Okay, then they're gone. So really what I'm left with is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on the left. So I'm just going to write that here. Equals how many x's do I have? Well, right here, notice, here's a 0 pair, so I can actually get rid of that. And I just have 2 x's, right? 1, 2. Then remember we can divide to get our x's alone. And then when we do that, 2 goes into 6 how many times? And 2 goes into 6 3 times. Somewhere, I think I lost a number. Where did that happen? Oh. Okay. Here, hold on.